Hey guys, and welcome back to another Warframe video. Today I'm going to be talking about the signature weapon changes that they did in the last couple updates ago. I wasn't sure about doing this video because some of them seem really powerful, like disturbingly powerful in some ways, and I wasn't sure if they're going to change it or not, but it's been a few updates and hotfixes, and they haven't really changed it, so I'm just going to go ahead and do this. And I decided to do this voiced, just so I can give my opinions on each one as we go along. And what I mean by signature weapons, as Harrow came out with the Knell, so when you use Harrow with the Knell, you get a certain bonus. Same with the Tenora, with Octavia, and etc. So the first one we're going to check out is with Harrow. And when we equip Harrow, you notice that the Knell now has a 2 magazine instead of 1. This is good. It's not overpowered or anything, but like in case you miss a headshot, you get another chance before you have to do it. And you can notice the reload speed is pretty slow. So if you manage to get that headshot, you get to shoot it for longer. This is a very mild synergy with Harrow, but it is a welcome one. Now the next ones we're going to be looking at is the synergy with Octavia and the Pandora and the Tenora. Now the Tenora one, it's if you use the alt fire and you headshot kill an enemy, there's a 20% chance to refill the entire magazine. Now this is good for lower levels, but once you get to higher levels where the enemies don't start being 1 or 3 shotted, you might actually just rather use the normal fire because it strips armor a lot quicker. You could also just use the normal fire to strip armor and then use that secondary fire to just kill them quicker. I'm talking about armored enemies, obviously, like Corpus and Infested are still fine. With the Pandero, headshots killed with the alt fire increase reload speed by 20%. Now this is the one that I was concerned about because the reload speed boost actually stacks, and it keeps stacking until it's basically almost instant, and I'll show that in a second. Now I'm going to take out the Pandero first. Now when I use the alt fire and I get a headshot, now I just gained a reload speed bonus, and it's going to keep stacking as long as I keep getting those headshots over and over and over. And as you could probably tell, it's getting faster and faster every time I do that. And eventually it gets to a point where it's so quick, it's almost, instant. It should be about these 20 enemies. I don't think it might go faster, but it's like it's based on a percentage similar to corrosive removes 25% of current armor. It's 20% of current speed, and if it's already lightning fast, you're not going to really notice a difference. Now here's the thing. I've never noticed this buff end, so even though it's been a while, I still have that reload buff. So I was thinking maybe they'd change it to a UI buff where it's like it decays by 1 stack per second after you use it, or it's a single use buff. So you get that headshot bonus, you reload, and then the buff ends, but apparently it keeps going. So that's actually really powerful. So obviously it goes without saying, if you mod your Pandero with minus recoil, you're going to have a lot easier time with this because you're going to have that instant reload and you'll be able to hit headshots a lot easier. Basically it turns the machine into an automatic weapon almost, which is kind of funny. Obviously you're going to need some way to regain ammo as well. Now with the Tenora, it's a similarly good buff, but like I said, it becomes a little problematic at higher levels. So with these level enemies, I should be able to one-shot them. See, now I just regain my ammo. No ammo there. No ammo there. It is only 20%, so there's actually a chance that you could get no ammo even if you one-shot every single enemy. Let's see if I can get one more, because that'd be obvious that I got the ammo. 70, 60... 50, 150. See, I managed to get the ammo back. So this one's, it's another one of those mild ones. So maybe if you're at a high level and you use the normal fire to strip down the armor of a really heavy Grineer, and you just happen to go like this and you regain your ammo. I mean, that's pretty good. But it's fairly mild. It's a lot more mild in my opinion compared to the Pandero one I mentioned. Another fairly mild buff, when you use the Nagantaka with Garuda, you gain a 1 meter punch through with the weapon. I say mild just because, I mean, punch through is great, but it's just like a utility stat. It is useful, so I can just go right through these enemies and hit the other ones behind. Normally you have to kill the enemy and then they fly back and deal damage, but this is actually very excellent with the alt fire against groups, because you can just kind of spray and pray and get all the enemies in that line, which is pretty cool. So now with Gera's boost, she boosts the Astilla, the Volnus, and the Fusilier, but to actually show them properly, you have to use a different frame first. So with the Astilla, you notice that I have 120 rounds in the spare in the magazine. I get an additional 80 when I'm using Gera. With the Fusilier, I gain a bonus to flight speed, so you can notice the flight speed right here. And with the Volnus, which is this pretty cool hammer, you gain additional slam radial damage. This is harder to test. It's very minor against armored enemies, but just trust me, when you do a slam attack, when you're using this with Gera, you just do more slam attack damage. So now when I equip Gera, now you'll notice that my Astilla now has 192 spare rounds in the ammunition, and when I use the Fusilier, they're a lot quicker. So it's easier to get enemies at range. It's not super quick, it's not hit scan or anything, but it is a lot quicker, which is pretty nice. Now, similar to Gera, I have to actually use another frame to showcase the buffs that the Phantasma and the Tatsu have for Revenant. For the Phantasma, you gain an extra 15 magazine, well, a total of 15, so it has just 4 more. But while that's mild for the normal fire, that does mean with the charged fire, you get a lot more of those projectiles, so it becomes a more effective, like, crowd control bomb than it was before. It's a mild buff, but like I said, it's still pretty useful. With the Tatsu, when you kill enemies, you get a charge that you can do with a slide attack, and instead of 5, you get a 9 cap of the charges. Now, I haven't actually tested this weapon since I reviewed the changes, so I'm actually just going to see if that even works now. So I know you gain a charge. Okay, so I see a ×2, so it is working now. So I should get up to ×5, and that's it. Yes, okay, so let's see what happens after that. It uses all the charges at once. That's disappointing. Unless okay, let's try that again. Unless I missed that. I didn't see that enemy. Okay, so all the enemies over here. Let's shoot. Okay, it did absolutely nothing. Cool. I'm good to see that it's affected by walls. That's extremely disappointing. Okay. Now let's just spawn another set of enemies. I really hate how I have to do this because there was still enemies out. It says 16. I leave and I come back. Now it's 19. Really hate how I have to do that. So let's kill at least one more enemy. Don't know why I have rolling guard on. Let's see. And okay, so it does hit multiple enemies, but that's kind of disappointing because look, I was only able to do one charge attack. Oh man, that's disappointing. Anyways, with Revenant, I should be able to get up to 9, so I should be able to stun up to 9 enemies. Wait, is it always 9 immediately or what? Here's one enemy killed, Soul Swarm. And it just says Soul Swarm again. Is this still bugged for Revenant? That's unfortunate. So I can't actually test that properly. Oh well. So with this alt fire, now I can charge it up. It takes a little longer to charge because it goes by how much in the magazine. Now I have more of those projectiles. Obviously they have travel life, and if the enemies are far away, it'll dissipate. But this makes the weapon a lot more better against crowds if you're using Revenant. And now for the latest buff, you can see with the Techo, I have a 26% status, and when I go like this, it says 10%. You can see now the status goes up to 16%, and with my mods on, and it's actually 41%, which is actually a lot better, and it actually lets you actually deal status, because this weapon actually has a poor status chance compared to a lot of other melee weapons, and this actually helps a little bit. I'm not sure why you'd use the Techo with Atlas. I mean, I'd prefer the Hyrudo since it heals him, and since he has such a large armor pool, especially with his Petrify, you can gain his armor so much that his health just barely takes a hit, and then you can use that Hyrudo to heal and gain extra health. So yeah, that's the signature weapon changes. This video's probably a lot longer than I thought, but hey, I thought I'd do it with my voice, so yeah, thanks for watching.